Hello guys and welcome. I hope that you're doing well. My name is I play 4K, AK I play 8K, AK I play 16K or UHD King. During this special video, I'm going to show you the world's first Battlefield 3 gameplay rendered in 16K resolution, native resolution on a single Titan RTX video card, but this is going to be the world's first 16K resolution natively rendered Battlefield 3 gameplay. And two Xeon's E5-2699 V3 CPUs. This is not my gaming rig, this is my workstation, keep that in mind. I'm doing a lot of 3D rendering like in 3ds Max when all the 72 logical cores utilized out of this two Xeon's E5-2699 V3 CPUs. And I have 176 gigabytes of system RAM on it, and pretty much Titan RTX carry 24 gigabyte of video RAM, which is the VRAM, and it's allow us to run for the first time as the GPU first architecture that was distributed to gamers and pretty much to regular users to run Battlefield 3 PC game in 16K resolution. This is amazing. This is a little introduction. As you can see on the background, this is my PC just the way it is. It's water cooled with two Corsair water coolers. And let me show you the resolution on the what kind of resolution I have. Use the zoom tool. I gotta zoom in a little bit, and just a little introduction before we're gonna get going. And during this video I'm going to show all presets, low, medium, high, and ultra in Battlefield 3, which is amazing, guys. So it's going to be a long video, but every single piece of information will be shared with you guys. So 100% scale, which is very crucial because sometimes when it's 500% scale under the 16K resolution, it receives more FPS. So I believe Windows cheating a little bit. So just to make sure the resolution is 16K resolution, which is 15,360 pixels by 8,640 pixels, or 133 megapixels rendered in real time. This is how we're going to rock it, guys. 15,360 at 100% scale. Let me close it and let me show you. Let me zoom in. Zoom in to over here. A little bit about the specs that I'm running. So this is the IDA 64. Titan RTX was overclocked during this video, plus 100 megahertz on the GPU and plus 1000 megahertz on the VRAM, which is the video RAM, but will be 2000 megahertz output. So from 14,000 megahertz on the VRAM, I'm receiving 16,000 megahertz, and Titan RTX will be overclocked above 2000 megahertz, but just because it's going to thermal throttling itself, because it's going to get so hot even if the fan rotation is 100%, but just because it's air cooled by the default Nvidia cooler, it's going to be thermal throttling itself to like 1700 1800 megahertz from 2000. Okay, this is how those two Xeons E5-2699 V3 scored, but keep in mind that I'm using only two cores, two threads, so only two physical cores without the hyper-threading technology, and 16 physical cores disabled per CPU under the BIOS of the motherboard. So two CPUs have 16 cores disabled per each CPU, and only two cores enabled physical cores without the hyper-threading technology. So two physical cores, two logical cores per CPU, total output 4 cores. And this is under the 4 cores how it's scored with multi-thread ratio 3.8, not bad. 3.9 is even better, but 3.8 not bad. And 1492 score on the under the CPU-Z under the multi-threading benchmark and single threading benchmark, which is nice. 393 score, which is much better when it's running all the 72 logical cores out of these two Xeon's E5-2699 V3 CPUs, because during that type of conditions it's going to be 360. So we are about not even 360, I believe it's going to be 340. 340. So we're about good like 50 points boost up, just because we're boosting from original 2.4 gigahertz when all the cores loaded to 3.6 gigahertz constantly, but 4 cores output. And just because Xeon E5-2699 V3 is not overclockable, guys, on any type of motherboards when it's running a dual socket, because it's locked multiplier, to cheat it to unlock 36 multipliers, which is the 3.6 gigahertz per core or 3600 megahertz per core, I need to use only 2 cores, 2 threads, without any hacking on the Xeon E5-2699 V3, without any BIOS modifications. I know it's possible, and I'm going to have a beautiful tutorial for you to watch, so do not miss it over the UHDKing.com. If you opt to this 2 Xeons E5-2699 V3 and you're thinking to build yourself rendering firm, just like today I'm having Mozilla rendering firm version 2.0. Okay, so latency, my gaming rig, which is the i9-9900K overclock at 5.4 gigahertz, showing 44 nanoseconds. The less is better in terms of the nanoseconds. The more in terms of the bandwidth is better. So more gigabytes, more megabytes is better. Okay, that's pretty much it, guys. I showed you everything what we need to see. Let's go ahead and jump into the game and check out some games, shall we? Okay, Battlefield 3. Where did I put it? And right here. Let's go ahead and execute that. It's going to execute the browser. I'm going to go ahead and start the campaign. I'm using the version out of the 2021, November 2021, and latest NVIDIA drivers in November 2021. But pretty much it's going to be just the same in terms of the FPS in Battlefield 3, because all the versions are the same almost. And I'm using the NVIDIA Shadow Play is hacked, so it's recording in 8K resolution instead of 4K resolution. So go ahead and watch it in 8K resolution. And the driver is hacked as well, so it's outputting DSR to 16K resolution on an 8K resolution screen. Keep that in mind. Alright, so this is a little window, and I believe this is how the game looks like in 1080p, because look like this is the size of 1080p under the 16K resolution screen, and it's not 4K. So this is what's up, right? And I'm gonna scale first. Let me go ahead and scale it on the whole. It's going to be windowed mode, guys, but it's going to be on the whole screen. Here we go. It didn't crash. That's good. Okay, so it's outputting, guys, right now and rendering 16K resolution natively. So this is the result will be just like 16K resolution screen. So, and then when it's outputting the signal, it's downscaling to 8K resolution. But if you're going to have 16K resolution screen, it's not going to downscaling. It's pretty much just going to give you this output in terms of the pixels on your 16K resolution screen. Okay, so let me show you some information about the presets that we're using today. Wow, everything is slow. Wow, the VRAM usage is 24,000 megabytes. This is unbelievable. And the system RAM usage is 16,000 megabytes, but usually it's supposed to staying at 13,000 megabytes. So we're pretty much offloading about 3,000 megabytes from a VRAM into the system RAM to avoid the crash. As you can see right here at the right top corner, VRAM utilization right now 23,399 megabytes. So 24 megabytes is utilized completely, and about 3 gigabytes offloaded from that VRAM into the system RAM to avoid the crash. But I know that Frostbite game engine that is powering the Battlefield 3 doesn't like it, and the game can crash. That's why our latency delay above 300 milliseconds, MS is milliseconds, and FPS is very low, 1-2 FPS. And this is a clear signal, guys. When you're receiving something like that, you have the VRAM overload. Okay, when your latency delay above 300 milliseconds, it's using the system RAM, and usually goes like to 1000, even 2000 milliseconds latency delay when it's using DDR3. But DDR4, it's going to be like 400, 500, 1000. It's a VRAM overload. Okay. And I believe we have VRAM overload because our preset is so crazy. So let me go ahead and show you my options. Look how beautiful the battlefield looks like in 16K resolution. This is unbelievable. We gotta get rid of that FPS, and I know the FPS should be much higher than that. And I believe the FPS is so low because right now I'm using the anti-aliasing actually, and it's ultra preset. But let's go ahead and have a look. Alright, let's go ahead and open up. Here we go. Wow, the menu is so small. Let me zoom in. Hopefully the game is not going to crash. Hopefully direct 3D 11 surface is not going to crash. Guys, why I'm using the windowed mode? Because the full screen somehow was showing some different color gray lines to me, and windowed mode is fine. Yes, so I was using the anti-aliasing 4x, and I was using the anti-aliasing post high. So pretty much this is right now, guys, at the ultra preset, completely ultra preset, just like the ultra preset is. Okay, and let me show it to you actually. I'm gonna switch to ultra, and then I'm gonna switch. So you can see, and then switch to custom. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disable the anti-aliasing deferred from 4 times MSA. I'm gonna make it off, and it will help us a lot. So pretty much the FPS from 2 FPS and overloading the VRAM should go to normal. And let me save it. It takes a couple seconds, as you can see, about 3 seconds. Let me go ahead and save it. The whole process. The game crashed. Okay. Let's go ahead and run it again. Just because that anti-aliasing is just killing our FPS and pretty much overloading our VRAM to completely like beyond our limits, and it's crashing. And the Battlefield 3 Frostbite game engine, as again, doesn't like to offload a lot of data from a system RAM, from a VRAM into the system RAM, because system RAM is too slow for it, and it just doesn't like it. As you can see, it's crashing. Like some other old school games, it was of those type of games were offloading a lot of data from VRAM into the system RAM without it crashing. Even sometimes, as we saw over the UHDKing.com YouTube channel, even sometimes like 8 gigabytes or even 10 gigabytes was offloaded from the VRAM when VRAM was utilized like 20 gigabytes additionally. Um, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to switch real quick the preset over here while it's in 1080p. I believe this is 1080p resolution over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna switch, and I'm gonna turn down the anti-aliasing completely as well. So we're using the anti-aliasing deferred and anti-aliasing post off completely. So pretty much ultra preset without the anti-aliasing. And then I'm going to show you the low preset, and then I'm going to show you the medium and high preset. Okay. So all right. So this is how we're gonna do it. Let me 1 second. Let me maximize the window. Here we go, and immediately our FPS at 27 FPS because the anti-aliasing is off. So that 4 times MSA anti-aliasing is just performance killer, especially in 16K resolution. Guys, this is unheard of right now. 16K resolution. I'm not so emotional because I already played it and I enjoyed it a lot, like for a couple hours. It was amazing. I played single player campaign, I played multiplayer online, and I'm in love with Battlefield 3 in 16K resolution rendered natively on the Titan RTX. It's just unbelievable, guys. So this is how we're gonna do it, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and get it going, and I'm gonna click save it. Yes. And campaign. Already going to be at the campaign with the airplane, the going hunting mission, which is I believe the third mission in Battlefield 3, which is amazing mission, and this part of gameplay can be used as the benchmark. So we're using it as a benchmark, as you can see. So ultra preset without the anti-aliasing, amazing visuals, amazing. This is maxed out visuals, guys, and you don't need to have the anti-aliasing at 16K resolution. 16 FPS, this is amazing because if the Battlefield 3 will utilize Titan RTX SLI, which is two Titan RTX video cards in SLI at 99%, just like it is per single video card, then we're going to be Gucci because I'm going to show 2 times of performance. So it's going to be around 30 FPS over here at least. But we're going to find out, guys, and it's going to be individual video recorded and demonstrated to you over the UHDKing.com. So go ahead and check it out, that YouTube channel, which is amazing. Not bad, guys. If SLI will be scaled like this well at 99-100%, then we're going to be like 33 FPS, which will be amazing because 30 FPS is playable in Battlefield 3, not for online, not like for very competitive, but for single player and to have fun online. It's still playable, keep that in mind, but at the beautiful visuals. And this is the Titan RTX video card, which is the Turing GPU architecture, guys. The newer GPU architectures will be even better performance. RTX 3090 video card will show you almost double performance, as you can see right now, and the video card that will be next generation after the RTX 3090 will show you guys pretty much over here like 40-45 FPS per single video card, which will be amazing. Alright, so I show you this test, right, at let's go ahead and quit to the menu at the ultra preset. Let me, as again, for those naysayers, let me real quick go ahead and show you the preset is ultra. It's so small, the menu is so small in Battlefield 3, and even in Battlefield 4 they fixed that in the newer versions, but Battlefield 3 especially was the menu was so small, wasn't scaling right. So this is, guys, pretty much ultra preset, right? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just going to quit it and to the menu, and I'm just going to switch to a high preset, and we're going to do high, and then I'm going to do medium, and then I'm going to show low. I decided not to show you guys low because it's going to be a contrast there, but let me just switch to the presets the way it should be. But keep in mind that Battlefield 3 running in 16K resolution natively is beautiful even at low, guys. Only the shadows will be ugly, but everything else will be beautiful because the textures will show you the maximum textures capabilities, and it's just going to be beautiful even when they're going to be washed out. But just because those amount of pixels will be just the way it was designed, it's just going to look amazing. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch. I'm gonna switch. It's gonna take some time. Not the ultra, but we're gonna switch to high. We already learned that ultra is dangerous with that 4 times MSA anti-aliasing. It's just crashing us. So high preset will be without the anti-aliasing. Oops, crashed. Alright, let's go ahead and load it again. I'm under the zoom, as you can see. Let's go ahead and load it again, and this time I'm going to switch to high when it's using the 1080p, just like that. I'm going to switch it here. Okay, it's loading up. Load up. As you can see, I was using zoom 700% under that 16K resolution right now to get to that little thing. So I'm assuming this is 1080p because 4K will be like the whole deal over here. So yeah, this is look like 1080p because 4K will be 800 zoom, 800% zoom. will be a 4K. So actually, this is not a 1080p. This is 1440p, guys, based on computing. Okay, because 800% under the zoom. So what I'm gonna do, I switch to high. As you can see, we're gonna use only anti-aliasing post at high. So it's still going to be some anti-aliasing, but anti-aliasing deferred, which is the method, will be disabled, but it's still going to anti-alias a little bit. Okay, so that's good enough. Let's go ahead and maximize it. Okay, let's accept that, and let's go ahead and run the campaign. So it's good. It crashed the game, so we're gonna start with the fresh resume campaign. All right, let's go ahead and have a look. I really like this one, the walking, because there is a lot of geometry, a lot of 3D geometry, 3D models that consumes a lot of 3D triangles and polygons while it's rendering. So it's computing all of this right now in real time. Look how small that right there. The font on the bottom just so small when they speak. The narration of the font. Beautiful. Even at high, guys, you're gonna see even at low preset, the game gonna looks just beautiful because every single pixel right here. Even if the textures is not even 4K resolution, but every single that small 3D object, 3D model has the texture, let's say 1080p, and like the stairs, and as you can see, it's not even rendering 1080p based even on 16K resolution, but we're picking up like 720p out of that ladder for sure when he was walking. Those details. Look at those details, every single pixel there, every single detail right there. Guys, please, as again, watch this video on 8K resolution screen for the maximum possible visuals because I'm recording in 8K resolution. But as again, because I'm recording with Nvidia Shadow Play, go ahead and add to the FPS counter at the right top corner 2-3 FPS. This is exactly how it was, 2-3 FPS. Look at this, just because we're using the anti-aliasing method, our FPS went down a little bit. It's still using that anti-aliasing. Even if it doesn't use the 4 times MSAA method, it's still using that anti-aliasing post-processing a little bit. You can tell in terms of the FPS because high preset has lower FPS than ultra preset. And why? Because we didn't use the ultra preset with anti-aliasing. We used the ultra preset without the anti-aliasing. Completely makes sense. Alright, alright. So let's go ahead and quit to the menu, and I'm going to go ahead and change it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you medium. So at medium preset, it's not going to use anti-aliasing for sure, any kind of anti-aliasing. So I could show you high without the anti-aliasing. Let me actually go ahead and do that, guys. Let me go ahead and show you high without the anti-aliasing. Just because this is the first video and on YouTube, 16K resolution in Battlefield 3, why not, right? Just to show you everything. So as you can see, high will be everything at high, except the anti-aliasing deferred will be off, and anti-aliasing pause will be high, so it's still using that anti-aliasing. But let me go ahead and turn it off. Let's go ahead and have a look how it's going to look like if I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Of course, we're going to crash it right now. I forgot. Guys, it didn't crash the game when I didn't record. So while I'm recording it, it's crashing the game because it's just an extra utilization of extra resources, I guess. While it's utilizing the Nvidia Shadow Player. Alright, let's go ahead and launch it again. Look how small my mouse cursor right there at the left top corner, right there. See that? Right now I'm rotating at the left top corner. That's my mouse cursor at 16K resolution and 100 DPI, 100% scale. So this is exactly a scale to scale, just like 16K resolution right now. All what you gotta have just 16K resolution screen, so you're gonna see every single pixel, and it's hard to see even at 8K resolution what's going on. But on 4K resolution, you're not gonna see those little details. It's just not gonna render the pixels for you. Okay. So it started the game. I'm just gonna switch, guys, the preset over here real quick. Let me zoom in. The game is still beautiful. I really like that Battlefield 3, just amazing. It was so photorealistic during that time. In 2011, it was just so much photorealism to it. And when you're playing this game at 16K resolution, you already can see some cartoonish to it, because you didn't see that when you were playing at 1080p because it was blurred out. Because pixels at 1080p screen is not rendering 1080p textures, not even rendering 720p textures at full glory. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to switch to high custom. I'm gonna make high completely, everything to high. But as we discussed previously, disable the anti-aliasing, and this one, anti-aliasing post at high was high. We're gonna turn it down. Everything else is here, so pretty much high without the anti-aliasing, because as again 16K resolution, don't need no anti-aliasing for sure. Let me go ahead and guys, and maximize it. Let's go ahead and save it. Save it. Here we go. Let's go ahead and start it now. We're supposed to have more FPS, and keep in mind this is high preset, but without the anti-aliasing. We already anti-aliased the edges of those hard edges because we're running 16K resolution. They're not going to be visible because they're going to be so small.
Hawkins,
yep, we increased the FPS in terms of like 2 FPS higher.
We're launching now.
And as again, under the high preset, it's not using the full method of anti-aliasing, but it's still using some sort of anti-aliasing. Right now, we turn it down and we increase the FPS by about 2 FPS. And as again, without the recording additional at least 2 FPS to the FPS counter, keep that in mind. So guys, support me, share it with your friends, smash that like button, show the support. So I'm going to invest that hard, earn money from the ads, from the views, and I'm going to invest towards you, towards the better equipment to record in 8K resolution video professional equipment, because my 8K resolution video professional equipment from 2016, from late of 2016, is burned out. Keep that in mind. Was a Chinese version. And I need your support, so I'm gonna collect those pennies and reinvest back to you guys. Beautiful. Even at the high preset without the anti-aliasing, looks like on the ultra, looks like maximum visuals. Unbelievable visuals, guys.
Okay, let's rock and roll.
If you're looking to have a gameplay, it's going to be individual video in 16K resolution, but it's going to be on 2 Titan RTXs. Keep that in mind. So the FPS will be smooth, at least 30 FPS, and I'm going to show you 16K resolution gameplay. It's going to be long gameplay just to enjoy with the maximum visuals possible, and with the high FPS, because 2 Titan RTX video cards and SLI will show over here about 28 FPS for sure. Keep in mind that this Titan RTX right now is overclocked, so without the overclock it's like 2 FPS less than with the overclock. And on a gaming rig it's going to show as again 10% at least higher FPS, 10-15%. So on my i9-9900K at 5.3, it's going to show, let me quit it guys, I'm gonna quit all the time. It's going to show pretty much at least 10% of FPS boost. So additional 2 FPS boost on the i9-9900K just for similar scenario. This is at least. Keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm going to relaunch it again, and this time we're going to switch to medium. So we're going to increase the FPS. And I decided, guys, I'm going to quit the game every time I'm going to switch it, the resolution. So in this way, we're just going to refresh the VRAM and GPU, and we're going to start with the blank, and FPS will be just the way it should be. But as again, with the Nvidia Shadowplay recording, keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and execute the game. And here we go. It's executed. I so in love, guys, with Nvidia Shadowplay. Such a beautiful software. AMD still in 2021 can't match that Nvidia Shadowplay because they don't have a capability with just 3% of the resources in terms of the FPS to capture the video in 4K resolution and above at 60 FPS. This is just unbelievable. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna real quick switch to medium now. I'm gonna go low, medium preset. Okay, let me go ahead and maximize it. Here we go. And this again, for those who doesn't believe me, but believe me, you're watching it in real time. I'm not gonna edit this video. Where's that window go? Somewhere here, right? Where's the window? Here we go. And medium preset, this is how we're gonna rock it. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna save it, of course. And campaign, resume the campaign, and it's going to start just with the animation at the beginning of the level, while skipping the intro, because intro in Battlefield 3 is not rendered with the game engine. It just preloaded videos. So medium preset, still beautiful, just unbelievable. (21 FPS, 20 FPS. So if Titan RTX SLI is working here, and it's supposed to, as I remember back in 2020 when I tested with two RTX 2080 Ti video cards in SLI, then we're going to have a business here. We're going to have at least, guys, around 34 FPS. 34, I would say 36 FPS average. If both GPUs will be utilized 97% and above in terms of the GPU utilization, the higher utilization for GPU is better because you're utilizing all the unified shader cores, which is the CUDA cores, and Titan RTX has 4,306 of them. It has a lot of CUDA cores, and yeah, to utilize all of them, you want to utilize your GPU at 99% or at least 97%, keep that in mind. But 99-100%, it's just excellent GPU utilization. This is how you want to keep it all the time to have the maximum performance out of your video card. Hopefully, guys, this makes sense. Not only out of the Titan RTX, but out of the any video cards. Alright, so above 30 FPS if Titan RTX SLI mode is working here with two Titan RTX's video cards. Okay, I'm going to quit now. We got it, and I'm gonna quit, and we're gonna set to low, and it's going to be the last test. Hopefully, I'm going to upload it today, guys. November 21st, 2021. Today is Sunday. So let me go ahead and execute it. Here we go. Unfortunately, 4 cores on this Xeon E5-2699 is needed to be able to reach 3.6 gigahertz or 3600 megahertz per core. But as again, I didn't overclock, didn't hack the platform, the Chinese motherboard yet. But you can hack the platform and you can run all these CPU cores at 3.4 gigahertz per core, where all 36 physical CPU cores are utilized, including the 72 logical cores when you're going to enable the hyper threading technology. This is a great, guys, all-in-one workstation. It costs only $400. I paid $250 for two CPUs from local recycler company. It came from data center for $125 per CPU and $110 for motherboard from Amazon. I'm going to include the link for you in the video description. Anyways, let's go ahead and under the options video, I'm just going to switch. Let me show it to you. Instead of medium, I'm going to go low. I'm going to apply that, and let me maximize it and save that at low. Here we go. Campaign. Resume campaign. Let's go ahead and have a look. Now the FPS will be amazing, and you're gonna see how beautiful low preset looks in Battlefield 3 in 16K resolution, almost like a ultra at 4K resolution. There is no such a difference because the textures over here, look at that. The vol has the little dots on the textures. It's just unbelievable. The only one thing, the shadows, as you can see, not detailed. The shadows are kind of squarish because they're using the low resolution for the shadows. But there is a possibility we can adjust that in the option, and we're not going to lose any performance. I will go ahead and try it actually. And if you're going to adjust the shadows, instead of low, make it like too high, so they're not going to be that ugly. As you can see, not all the shadows are ugly. Some shadows are nice, but some are ugly when you're running low preset, even in 16K resolution. But if you're going to change from low to high shadow presets, I don't think it's going to reflect our performance on video cards such as Titan RTX, or even better video cards such as RTX 3090 or the next generation RTX 4000 series. But that 25 FPS average, guys, with two Titan RTXs and SLI will be 50 or like 47. It's going to be playable, even for the online, almost comfortable. But for the campaign, for the single player in Battlefield 3, 45 FPS is comfortable, guys. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I remember in 2011, this visuals was like so photorealistic to me. But when you're watching at 16K resolution with all the details, when the details are not blurred out, you can see now the cartoonish part to it. But we didn't see that in 2011 because the details were so blurred out, guys. Every single pixel is right here. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let me actually change the shadows. I'm gonna change the shadows. Let me zoom in. And from low, I'm going to make them, okay, that's too much zoom. Okay, so I'm gonna go custom. Okay, not auto. But custom. Here we go. And I'm gonna put everything at low except the textures. Textures will keep up our VRAM utilization high. So let's keep the textures at maximum because we're running 16K resolution just to receive the maximum visuals. Let's say we want to have the maximum visuals. Shadow quality, I'm going to keep it high. Instead of ultra, I'm going to keep it at high. Effect quality low. Mesh quality low. Mesh quality high. Let's go ahead and have a look. So with all the polygons and triangles into the 3D mesh or 3D model. Terrain quality could be medium. Terrain decoration could be medium. Anti-aliasing off. Anti-aliasing post off. Motion blur off. Isotropic 4x. Ambient occlusion. Let's go ahead and turn it down like that. So this is how I'm going to do it. So pretty much like low preset, but as you can see, not low. It's much better than low, but I don't think in terms of the FPS, it's going to reflect our performance anyhow, but we're going to find out. I think it's going to be Gucci in terms of the FPS, but let me go ahead and reload the checkpoint. We're going to find out. So textures at ultra and mesh quality at ultra, so maximum possible
We just got
visuals.
raised to alert 1. Plans
So
have
it's not going to be
changed.
squares.
We're launching
23
now.
FPS, very beautiful, above
CAG says
20
we're
FPS.
special
So
today. We're
if
not on
two
station
Titan
for some
RTXs
whiskey
and
Delta
SLI
ground support.
will be working with the new driver, which should
Gas is
be,
gonna fill us in
then
airborne,
it's going to
but
be
we are
40
flying a
FPS at
strike
least,
mission from
and it's going to
Tehran
be comfortable,
into
guys. At
Myrabat
least for a
Airport.
campaign single
Even
player
with
for
how
sure,
sat images,
for the old
they
school
think they
gamer
know
like
where Al
me,
Bashir is.
or even the multiplayer. I can be
So, get your
after
fangs
10
out,
games
Hawkins.
like number
We're hunting big game tonight.
1 on the table with the 40 FPS average. And look at this low preset, but it doesn't look like low. Everything at maximum, textures at maximum, mesh quality in terms of the triangle, polygons count into the 3D meshes, and at maximum preset. Effects at medium, but still effects there. You're probably going to see the difference when you're going to compare frame per frame, but when you're playing, actually, you're not going to see that much difference. This is just unbelievable, guys. That means the RTX 4000 video card will show here 50 FPS average, guys, at this preset for sure. This is for sure, but I would say around 60 FPS with this preset. RTX 4000, at least 60 FPS, because RTX 3090 will show us here around 45, 47 FPS. It's going to be a hair slower than two Titan RTXs and SLI, as again, if the two Titan RTXs and SLI video cards will be utilized at 97% per GPU. So two GPUs will be utilized like 180, 190% total, 97%-99% per GPU, and I think it will be, guys, it will be the case in this game. Okay, so pretty much I showed you everything what you need to see, and yeah, I think, let me close the game. I think we nailed that, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Don't right now I'm putting some great videos for you on the screen to check out. Go ahead and check them out. I'm gonna put for you two Titan RTX video cards in SLI, Battlefield 3 in 16K resolution. When now it's going to be playable. But as again, the purpose of this video is not to play. The purpose of this video is to benchmark. So we're gonna see the future, and we can benchmark the future hardware and test it against each other and find out the progress. All right. As again, thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe for more great videos, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys till the next time. Have a great day. UHD King. Peace.